What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles.com, and I'm about to take, we're picking up the Austin Healey from the shop, and let's take it for a spin. This is the first time I actually get to drive it for real. Last time the calipers were locked up, all new brakes, all new rotors, repacked the rear wheel bearings or something, I don't know. It was expensive. I know that. So before, it was using all like 7 horsepower to try to push this thing that you couldn't push. So it was not very much fun. But now, I don't know where reverse is. There we go. But now we get to use all that power, and it's working together with the rest of the car to move. So I'm pretty pumped. Now this is no powerhouse. But they're supposed to be pretty fun cars, and this is supposed to be the first British car to ever do 100 miles an hour. The speedometer was working. So who knows how fast we're going. But this is faster than I went before with it. So I'm pumped. It is a 4-speed. We could take any motor out of any bike that we have in the shop, including the Honda Ruckus, drop it in this car, and this car would be 1000% faster. I like that. I like that throw. It's a nice big... Everyone's trying to do like a short throw shifter. I don't know why. At a certain point, you lose all your leverage. No one's running super fast times, and they're like, "Hey man, how'd you do it? I got me a short throw shifter." Nobody. It's a novelty. Sometimes you ever see them so short, like people just cut them off. They cut the ends off, and it's like. It actually takes you longer to shift because there's no leverage. This is pretty cool. I could see if you were going like down a mountain, a really straight mountain, and like a car was pushing you, how you could hit 100 miles an hour with this. I could see that. My mechanic thought that maybe the we put new ignition and wires and all that stuff. He thought maybe the carbs might need to be tuned, but you got to be an Austin Healey guy. You need to, like, when I think of like an Austin Healey mechanic, I think of like a real short guy. I think of some real short guy. You know, one of those hats that like British people wear. Little stocky, and he doesn't have a single car that's like newer than like 50 years old. Just loves rocking them Austin Healeys. What is that? Well, these other gauges work. This thing actually tracks pretty smooth, pretty straight. It's got an England Bulldog. This is a classic, classic like date car. You pick up your date. Okay, this is the perfect date car. You pick up your date, she's all impressed. Her parents are impressed. They're all like, this guy's refined. You know? this is like the car that like the professors at like Yale and Harvard, they drive, they pull up to work. So one, you look refined, you're impressing the parents. Two, it's guaranteed to break down while you're on the date. And then one, you get to see how she handles. You see how she handles it. So you can see how she handles it. Then she gets to see how you handle it. You bust out. You break down on the side of some country road because that's where you're driving. You pull out a blanket from the trunk. You got a picnic. A little couple wine glasses. Bam! You guys have just like the perfect first date. That's why it's the perfect car. I really wish I knew what my RPMs were. RPM times 100. 4-cylinder, positive earth. Oh yeah, this kit. So all over this thing, it keeps on saying positive earth. Near the battery, on the gauge. What does that mean? Can someone tell me what positive earth means? I did notice that the ground wire was red and the other wire was black. Does that mean something? I don't know. I'm 6'2". This car was not made for someone like me, but I get it done. I get it done. This is pretty fun. You really feel like you're driving like a toy go-kart, and every time you pass the cop, you're like, all right, he let it go. I don't know how this is working out. I mean, it's a very small car. It needs an LS motor in it. Throw like get a real cheap like LS1, LS3, throw it in there. I might run this by Jackson Corvettes. See if he knows any Austin Healey guys who might want to buy it. Sorry. Why am I apologizing to you? Soon there's gonna come a day where manual gearboxes, no one knows how to drive. My kids will know how to drive on a manual transmission car. 2 reasons. 1, it's awesome. I love manual gearboxes. It's the best. 2, I gotta keep the tradition alive.